it worked because you won.
You won.
And then on national TV, you say you're going to start a sauce company.
Yeah.
And so did you immediately regret saying that? Or did you say, hey, I'm so glad that I said that?
In the moment, I don't think that I was like, oh no, I just said that. But I did
Yeah.
after I went home.
Yeah.
That was the push that I needed, because for me, it was an idea that I already had in my head,
Mm-hmm.
that I want to have a sauce line and I want to have a product line, because ultimately, going back to that goal, I want as many people to have access to these flavors as possible. And I can only have access to the people that come to Anaheim or the people that come to my restaurant, right? And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're like 2 miles from Disneyland. There is access to a lot of people from a lot of different places,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing. But if you don't make it here, how can I do that? And so
Yeah.
having a product line was it was already a thing in my brain. And I think saying it out loud on national TV was the push that I needed to give myself, because at that point
Yeah.
I was like, well, now I said it on TV. I've got to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So let's transition into that then, because I want to know about, how do you go from, making sauces in the kitchen to be served like at your mise en place to be served that night and you're just cooking it to order, to now, but I mean, there's got to be different regulations, there's got to be a different kitchen that you have to utilize. Did you know this going into it?
So I'm a person that does a lot of reading, to the point probably of analysis paralysis in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ways. So yes, there were certain things that I did know. I decided before I started that I wasn't going to like make it in the restaurant and put it in a bottle and then just sell it. I knew I wanted a co-packer.
Okay.
And I wanted to start that way, because if I start that way, then scaling will be easier versus starting in my kitchen and then having to reinvent that business by sending it to a co-packer.
The co-packer is one of the hardest things to do when you launch a CPG product.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are really hard. But the thing that I learned almost immediately was the only thing that's the same between running a restaurant and having a CPG product is that they're both food. That's
Mm-hmm.
literally it.
That's the
So
only thing. That's
that is
everything.
the only thing.
Everything else is different.
Everything else is the language you use is different. The people you deal with is different. The how you reach a consumer is different.
Yeah.
5 million steps before you can reach a consumer with a CPG product are very different from the 5 million steps it takes before you open a restaurant.
I'm so glad that you said that, because I feel like there's so many restaurateurs who have these amazing dishes or amazing sauces or spices or kits or whatever, and they do really well on a menu, but then when they go to actually package it up in a CPG product, it's like it flutters, it doesn't do well. They don't,
Mhm.
there's so many lessons learned along the way that I'm sure that you've learned launching your own line,
Yeah.
that I think is very real. The only thing that's really the same is the food, but everything else, forget it. Like, there's a totally different course for this.
Yeah. There really isn't. I don't think one qualifies you to do the other,
Yeah.
because I could say, oh, I make this sauce that's so good, I need to
Mhm.
bottle it.
Mhm.
Great. But to get that in a bottle, where's the bottle coming from? What kind of lid does it have? What does your label look like? Who's making it? How's it getting shipped from there to there? How are you going to sell it to somebody without having made it? I mean, there's so
Mhm.
many things along the way. And then you have to learn the language, right? Like, what does this mean? What's a slotting fee? What's a free fee?
Totally.
What is,
CPG land, it's totally different land.
yeah,
And there's just so many layers, right? There's so many layers. Like in the
Oh,
restaurant,
yeah.
it's going from your hand to the
right.
customer's table.
Yeah.
Or if they're taking it out, it's going right to their house, even if it goes through Uber Eats or something like that. There's got to be so many layers between bottling that sauce to getting it into the hands of the customer.
So
Mhm.
I'll be honest, there's been moments where I'm like, man, like if I just would have just put this in a jar at the restaurant, I could sell it at the restaurant forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mhm.
could do
Right.
that
Mhm.
because it's not an official, it doesn't need any of the FDA things. So I'm just selling it here and you take it home, put it in your
Mhm.
fridge and it's great. But that's not scalable.
Right,
So
right.
why did I open something that was fast casual in the first place? That was the first step towards having access to more people. So
Right.
one of the first things I learned after opening was we kept having people come up to the register and saying, "I've never had Indian food before. What do you think I should have?"
Oh, interesting.
Of course.
I started to ask them, "Why did you decide to have it today?" Because I wanted to know, what am I doing here that's making them want to come here? And for some people, it was I could smell it the minute I walked into the hall
Yep.
because we're in
That's
the
what
food
I
hall
They
and it
must
smells
smell it. Yeah.
fabulous. I'm watching your people because we have an open kitchen with 2 tandoors in the front. Like, I was watching them and what they're doing is fascinating. Or I've heard it's really good and I've never tried it where I live because, walking into an Indian restaurant and potentially ordering the wrong thing is daunting.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I have this many dollars to spend today. Am I going to go to a place that feels safe or am I going to go do something that I'm unsure of?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So here
Totally.
I'm in a food hall where your kid can still have pizza and your partner can still have some Thai food or, sushi, but you want to try something new. I've had people come up and be like, "Oh, my partner really doesn't like Indian food, so we never get to eat it." I'm so excited because they get to eat whatever they want and I get to eat this today.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I really want access to those people who think they don't like Indian food.
Absolutely.
I want access to those people.
Going back to the product though for a second.
Yep.
So do you find that the line of products that you created was an inroad for people to try Indian cuisine or flavors? Or did you find that it's for people that are already interested in Indian cuisine, that are looking for a different spice or sauce?
So, because we've had our own challenges in
Yeah.
running and actually becoming Shachi's Spice Girl sauces,
Yeah.
when we first started, we were Spice Girl sauces, and then we went to go trademark it,
Mm-hmm.
and there were 2 or 3 people ahead of us, and
Nah.
the person that was first in line wasn't in business anymore. But so you
Mm-hmm.
have options, right? You can say, "I'm gonna poke
Mm-hmm.
this bear and say, 'Hey, are you gonna use this?' And I could wait and see what happens, or I could do something else, and that was
Mm-hmm.
trademark my name.
Mm.
Huge step for me. And so when we first started selling, we were selling at the farmer's market in Orange. We're selling at the restaurant and some local stores. So a
Okay.
couple of people, it was, I'm going to get this because I know you. I
Yeah.
trust you as a chef.
Mm-hmm.
I trust the food that you make. And the way people used, I only had 2 sauces in that first line, and it was a hot sauce and a tomato chutney. And what people used it for taught me more about my product than I already knew.
Really?
Oh, that's a good lesson for people that are launching this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I never wanted my products to be like, this is Indian food. I make Indian food on the 3rd Thursday of every month, and this is when I'm going to use this product. I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to use this hot sauce on tacos or eggs or avocado toast or whatever you're eating. I want it to be your go-to. Somebody
Mhm.
Yeah.
did the pizza base, and I hadn't done that before, and it's amazing.
Mm.
It's a good
That
idea.
sounds
There's a guy
Yeah.
good.
that
Yeah.
swore by putting this tomato chutney on his meatloaf. That was like his thing.
I
I
bet
Also
didn't
could be
that's
think
good. Also, yeah, these are all good
I
ideas.
hadn't thought of that at all. So
Yeah.
learning all these things from my consumers really helped me develop what was coming next. So we had our original co-packer and then we had to change a co-packer and then we found a new one and then we had a very funny now story about what happened there and then we ended up having to find another co-packer.
so many brands go through this. I feel like
Yeah.
you could talk to every brand. It's like, how many co-packers are you at this point?
Yeah. So
4 or
we
5?
actually just found out this week that we're producing our pilot batch later in April. So it's a
Oh,
huge big
Oh,
deal for
very
congratulations.
me.
nice.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And we have 4 flavors coming out. So the original hot sauce, the tomato chutney, there's a tomatillo chutney, and tikka masala sauce. I don't want you to just put chicken in it and eat it, or just put tofu in it and eat it. I want you to put it in your pasta because you know what? That is so good. It's
Mm.
so good.
Yeah, I like that you're diversifying the way people are using it. And I think that also is a testament to reaching more palates too. Like
Yes.
you're promoting it to I'm assuming it mostly an American audience, and so it's like, hey, you can do it, use it in the way that's authentic to you,
Right.
as like an add-on.
The demand for group and private events is at an all-time high. Is your business ready to capitalize on all these opportunities? With Restaurant as your booking partner, you can ensure event success this year and beyond.
With no booking fees or commissions, Restaurant has helped over 2,000 restaurants, bars, and breweries reach local event planners who are looking for a space for their next gathering. Whether it's a birthday, anniversary, graduation, or corporate event, Restaurant will get your space booked.
Try it today and receive 3 months completely risk-free by signing up at restaurant.com/podcast. That's restaurent.com/podcast.